didn't even get to cross.
Hello and welcome to my Vorago base tank guide. I'll be showing you how to base tank Vorago on the Scopulus week. I do assume you know a little bit about Vorago, where to find him, and its abilities. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, this is my recommended gear setup for a 2-kill Vorago trip. So I bring 1 overload flask, 3 doses per kill, 9 super restore flasks, 6 Sourdough brew flasks, 2 adrenaline, and Mercer's Kite Shield, Seismic Singularity, Air Runes, Runes for Vulnerability, and some space for Rocktails. For my gear, I have full Tectonic. I have a Sourdough cape, but that can be switched out to the new Tokar cape for magic. I have an Enhanced Excalibur for healing up at start, which is very useful. Seismic Wand, Celestial Hand Wraps, Ring of Vigor, Virtus Boots, Supreme Runic Accuracy, Scrimshaw of the Elements, and a Dragon Rider Amulet for increased fire breath. And let's get started. I'll show you we're entering the Vorago kill. Okay, we're now entering the Vorago kill. Make sure you're above 8.3k HP so you don't get killed in a 6-man. And use your Enhanced Excalibur upon entry. Eat up twice and pray melee and tag Vorago and wait for the jumper to evoke it or to go over to that area and then evoke it, and then take it to the northeast corner of the room and just use as many basic abilities as you can to build up your adrenaline. Use resonance if you want to, and then when you get to 50% adrenaline, use devotion to minimize the amount of damage taken. Keep an eye over the jumper in the minimap and wait for him to get to the jumping area. At this point, just keep building up adrenaline, use as many abilities as you can. I tend to use Reflect around this point to half the damage that I get given, and then just wait for the jumper to do his lore. Make sure Vorago's left foot is 1 step over the line of the shadow, and this is how you know Vorago has been correctly lured. Go directly south and just act as a DPS, and use Sunshine, any thresholds you can, or Adrenaline Pot, and if you want to, turn on Soul Split to get some HP back. Around 30k HP, you would want to evoke Vorago, so the jumper can jump, and use abilities like Resonance to get a heal, because he can still attack you in his animation. Use Reflect if it's back, just half the damage, and then hopefully at this point you should be able to just finish off Vorago's phase and head straight into P2. So at the end of the phase, make sure you are entering upon with a decent amount of life points, and Vorago will be jumping around. Keep using basic abilities like Anticipation and Preparation, and obviously if Vorago jumps on top of you, just surge away from the area and you shouldn't get dealt any damage. Okay, we are now entering P2. Make sure you tag Vorago. There'll be bleeds, so make sure he's on you first. Right, Freedom the first bleed. Second one coming in now. Run away from that one or escape if you have it. That's the third one. A bleed bomb should come, a resonance that. Run back in range, that's the 4th one. There's the 5th one, and invoke it back onto you. Use something, ability like Devotion or Reflect to minimize the damage you're taking. A Reflect is coming soon, so make sure that you get off Vorago, and so should your teammates. A red orb should spawn. If your teammates are in range, they could fire it for you, and you don't have to move it. If not, just lure Vorago over to the red orb, and should be alright. Use abilities like Barricade and Resonance to heal up, and Bleed's coming in again. So Freedom, first one. Escape from the second. Make sure you're out of range, so run if you need to. Run into the blue bomb. That's the 4th one going in now. Use a rune at Vorago to get back into melee range. Evoke it, and then repeat. Use any abilities that would minimize the damage you're taking. And basically that's it for another 2 attempts, and make sure the red orb is always in range of someone who can fire it, or else lure Vorago. And I'm going to speed up the clip now. Okay, at this point we're toward the end of P2. Lure the red orb over to the thing, and you'll get a little thing where you have to bring him down. So spam click on Vorago. This point I like to turn on Soul Split, and you need to re-overload because your overload would have run out by now. Make sure you equip your Singularity and keep spam clicking him. You have to do as much DPS as you can, so use your thresholds, so Wild Magic followed by an Asphyxiate, and then followed normally by Wild Magic, Deep Impact and Concentration Blast, just to get as much DPS out as you can. When it's done, evoke him back and pray melee. Make sure you've done that. Equip your shield, and at this point just wait for your team to slowly bring Vorago's health back down. Just keep high HP, and make sure you pray melee going into P3. Okay, now Vorago's jumping about. Make sure you've got near enough full adrenaline, because you'll be wanting to sunshine immediately. Make sure you make your way south to the room, because that's where the Scopulus is spawning. Keep your HP high. You can use any ability like Freedom, and make sure try and get the bomb tank to evoke it. Attack the nearby Scopulus. Make sure there's around 3-on-3. Sunshine, Adrenaline Potion, and just act as a DPS now. Make sure you pray melee so you don't get absolutely smacked. Use any thresholds as you can, for example Wild Magic and Asphyxiate, and just DPS as much as you can to try and get this phase as fast as possible. This is pretty quick, and you shouldn't be eating too much food, and if you've got someone healing you, then that would be extremely helpful. Try and bring them down. Try and bring the two Scopulus down at the same time, to make sure that one doesn't go completely strong for a long period of time. Anyway, now you're going into P4. We've got the usual stomping again. You don't have to be high adrenaline, but it does help. And keep soul. You can soul split now. Redo your enhanced Excalibur, and you can use Freedom. But he's not coming in too soon. Try and get a tag on, and walk into the waterfall. It does help to surge going into the waterfall, and you can step one step, so you're near to the waterfall as possible. Use Wild Magic coming out the waterfall, keep Soul Split on, just get some HP back, and wait for the minions to spawn. When you see a minion spawn, evoke Vorago, pray melee, and just carry on doing basic abilities. At this point you shouldn't be really needing to heal, you should have a lot of HP, but you can use the occasional resonance, and followed by devotion to stop being hit as much. It's quite calm at this point, nothing big going on, but Vokes are coming in soon. Hopefully your team should be doing enough DPS so you can get the phase down quickly, or you don't have to do anything towards the end of the phase. Anyway, Vokes coming in now, so get ready for you to use your Freedom. Anyway, so that's Vogue number 1, Freedom it. That's number 2, Escape. Blue Bomb should be coming in now. That's Vogue number 3 with Blue Bomb, Resonance that. Use Rune towards Vorago and get into melee distance. Vogue number 5. And that's Vogue. You can use Barricade, something like that, to make sure you don't lose much HP, and you can see I got healed, which is helpful. Get ready to off as another Reflector's coming in, and there'll be a waterfall after this one. So use Preparation to get your resonance back a little bit more quickly, and yeah, another waterfall. Again, helps the surge into waterfalls to get a bit more of adrenaline and to keep your adrenaline high. Okay, now you're coming into the third waterfall. It's basically just the same process again, and you got to be preparing for P5. So hopefully you've got someone who's got all the mold pieces and getting ready to assemble. Same business again. Nothing's really changed, and just make sure that if you have a minion, for example, just make sure you step out of melee range of Vorago and kill your minion as quickly as possible, or else it'll really start messing you over. Obviously, if the bomb tank has one, that's unfortunate. He hasn't done his job correctly, I don't think, or you've voked it, you haven't done your job correctly, and just make sure that he doesn't die, and try and voke Vorago as quickly as possible so he didn't get extra hits. More vokes coming in, so voke the first one, escape the second, usual stuff, and if you don't have resonance, which I almost didn't there, just use Barricade. Anyway, go melee distance, that's the 5th voke, and voke it. Use Reflect again. Reflect is a very useful ability of Vorago, and now make sure your team get off low on the HP, so you don't have to reset it, so you don't have to walking or anything like that. And get ready to go into the third waterfall, which is the last one too. And yeah, make sure you have high adrenaline. That would be really helpful, because you want to be wild magicking at the start of P5. Make sure you dual wield. Obviously, if you've got people with Torsus or in the hill, make sure like they try and invoke it so you don't get those occasional blue bombs in the waterfall. Anyway, here we're a bit unlucky not to get the DPS done in time. Anyway, evoke it back and repeat. We should have the phase done soon. It does help to have high HP, but it's not necessary completely, as long as you free them your bleeds quickly enough. Anyway, that's the end of P4. Okay, now you're going into last phase, phase 5. This is entirely DPS, so you're basically against Vorago in DPS terms. And just make sure you're in high adrenaline again, really helpful, high HP, all the good stuff. And make sure that your prayers high, so you don't have to concentrate on that so much. Re-overload at this point, you want to make sure that you've re-overloaded, or else you're going to struggle in this phase. Use your wild magics, any abilities that can get DPS done. But if you see the red bomb was fired there, count around 3 hits, and from Vorago, and get off, or else you're going to end up PKing someone, which you don't want. Use basic abilities such as anticipate, but don't use freedom. That freedom you need for in case you get a bleed. Okay, sunshine and adrenaline potion, and this is you're entirely acting as a DPS now. And use many thresholds, basic abilities as you can. As you can see there, I got a bleed. Freedom it as quickly as you can, or else you're going to get a 4.5k hit from Vorago, which you do not want. Anyway, you carry on DPSing as much as you can, and you'll get this phase done as quickly as you can. If you get 2 bleeds from Vorago, or as your freedom on cooldown, run back so the bleed goes, and then surge back in. If you do have a blue bomb, try and run to the north side of the room, or to stop people getting hit by the blue bomb, but that's not always entirely necessary. Anyway, another reflect coming in now. Make sure that you've got as much adrenaline as you can. Get ready to use your thresholds if you want. I've got another bleed there. Freedom it. Always make sure you're freedom your bleeds. Most important thing you can do. Keep DPSing. Should get it here easily. And there isn't much more else to this phase. If you've got the maul, make sure you're in melee distance and spam click the maul, but you can only maul it when it's at the very end. I don't have it this time. Omni, if it's on the last thing, to get it done quickly, and that is the end of the kill. Kills shouldn't take too long. I mean, that kill there was around 13 minutes and a bit. And hopefully this guide helps you, and thanks.